have not yet gotten a chance to turn on to start to work. So before I do that, I wanted to come on just to make sure that everything is good with you guys. Today's Tuesday. I'm going to be on for a little bit, not too long, because, life been lifing, guys. I wanted to come on here to share with you guys that sometimes when we say things, and is one thing saying and the other thing is doing. And I just want to share with you what happened to me a few days ago. And I had to practice what I preached, talking about the 6 P's and talking about hi, Georgina. How are you today? Thanks for coming in. I just wanted to share that I had to practice what I preached. My 6 P's and 5 sentences had to go into play just yesterday. And I thought that it's good to share so that way, others maybe was going through or still going through a certain struggles. And I just want to share with you guys how I, stayed in my seat. So the Sunday I talked about staying in your seat, and I had that big talk, about the 6 P's and, you got to use the sentences. And guys, one thing is saying it, and the other thing is practicing it and doing it. And I had to practice both of them, the 6 P's, and how to activate. And also what activated was, those 5 sentences, and they came in handy. I tell you, when God tells you to stay in your seat and be still, you better stay in your seat and be still and just watch him do the work. So long story short, I'm gonna get straight to it. Yesterday I got up, my normal routine, I'm heading off. I said I always get up, leave the house around 5:30, 6 o'clock so that I can get into the area and I can start working on my way to the gym. So same routine, nothing changed. The day before, I did all that big talk about staying in your seat and, just making sure that you're practicing and listening to God and all that stuff. Well, guys, I was on my routine, heading to go and start to work, got my first order, got my second order. You all know I'm all about 3 to 5 orders on the way to the gym. On that third order, guys, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what happened. I was at a yield sign, hitting into the intersection, and the car in front of me, when they went, like if they were leaving out of the intersection, and in a split second I look back, guys, to see if any other cars were coming, and I saw this black Jeep just popped up on me, and he turned around and he said, and the car was coming so fast, so I stopped. Well, in the split second of me thinking the car in front of me had left and looked back and turned back around, boom, I didn't hit up in this other lady. And I was devastated, guys. In that moment, all I can remember was my 5 P's, because I knew I had insurance. And those 6 P's is the proper prior planning prevents poor performance. And I had to activate it because I had to realize that, wait a minute, God always tell us in the storm we must be still. And in that moment when I hit the lady, I knew that I was wrong. So I knew I had to activate my 5 P's, 5 sentences. So I was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I was shocked at the same time that it happened so fast. And I said, now I have to use what I've been preaching. And I surely did. And let me tell you, I was not stressed about me hitting her, because it was a bump, but it was enough that my car got damaged. Okay, her car was just a little tap, and I knew that I had insurance, and I knew that either she had 2 choices. So when I came out, I took a deep breath and I apologized to her. So I used my 5 sentences. In the process of that, I started to say, I am so sorry. It was my fault. Please forgive me. Are you okay? I'm asking these questions and trying to stay calm, because in my head, God is telling me, just be still. Let him deal with it. When the lady steps out of her car, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, she's going to just come at me, because, I should not have been that close to her that I had to hit up in her. And when I pulled up, let me tell you, and I stopped my car, she comes out of her car and she stops, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if to go forward, because sometimes these people up here, they be looking to try and fight you, and I'm like, okay, Lord, you're telling me to be still, but I'm gonna have to, hopefully I don't have to get in that That little bob and weave moment, because the lady looked like she was about to tap me or something. And she comes out of her car. I open my door and I'm coming out. I was hesitating a little bit. And I said, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. It was my fault. I said, are you okay? So she looks at me, look at her car, then she looks at my car. And whatever spirit she had on her on the way out of the car, I tell you, God stepped in. He took the wheel. That lady came over to me. She just hugged. She hugged me and she said, are you okay? She said, don't worry. I said, I have two options. I said, we can call the police and get the police report. Or I said, we can sit back and, we could exchange information and we both call each other's insurance, because I have insurance. And I said, that way it's less stress and we don't have to put the police in it. We could just go directly because it was my fault. She said, no worries. She said, it's okay. This is what this lady told me. Now, this was 1 in a million. I've never had this happen to me in my life. But this, what happened, she said it was okay. Don't worry about it. She said, my car, I could just buffer it out. She looks at my car. Now, my car is dented in. And she's like, well, I hit her. I should be the one, crying. She was just like, it's okay, Paulette. Don't worry about it. Things happen like this. She said, whatever she was thinking at that moment, I know it had to do with God. He was probably just saying, don't fight with that poor girl. She's already stressed out. She's, not thinking straight, because I wasn't. But I remembered proper prior planning prevents poor performance. Imagine if I did not have insurance. Just think about it. Imagine if I didn't have insurance to make sure that I could stay in my seat and stay calm. I had insurance, so I was not stressed. Like, oh my goodness. I was scared because I didn't know if she had kids in her car, if she was hurt, if she was damaged. I really didn't know because it happened so fast. But I knew that I had enough insurance that part would have been covered. And when she came out of the car, the spirit when she came out was looked aggressive, but it wasn't. She came over, I got a hug, and she said it's okay. Did not want to exchange nothing with me. All her tags was up to date. Like, this is like never happening. I don't know. I mean, I was just, trust me, I was shocked. I'm still shocked. She's like, leave it, it's okay. She hugged me, got back in her car, and she went her merry way. Now, mind you, this is the 5th time this car has gotten into some accident at an intersection, at a stop sign. But most of the time, the 4 times, somebody did it to me. This time, I did it to somebody at the same yield or stop sign, which was awkward. I was like, oh my God. And a quick seconds, I wanted to throw a tantrum, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm trying to go to work, I'm trying to get to the gym, and this is what's going to happen at an intersection. And for a brief moment, I had something telling me, like, Paulette, imagine if you were on the highway and that had happened. Somebody would have been in more danger. These are just little happenstokes that's happening to you, so you could be aware that regardless of where you at stop signs, at yield sign, at whatever sign, you always have to be ready. You never know when you're going to go, because I had no recollection of what was going on in my life at that moment in time. It just happened like beef. You imagine how life is so short when they tell you when you wake up in the morning to give thanks and be grateful for today, for breathing, and you take it for granted, guys. That's how quick that accidents happen, and that's how quick our life will be gone. So hopefully everybody, that's out there on the street, make sure that you're cautious, that you're cautious of us, taking caution of others as well as yourself. And when you're driving for everybody else around you, so that way you can be safe, because things happen in a twinkling of an eye, and we are never safe in a way. So stay prayed up, guys. Yesterday, and on top of that, just to let you know, remind you, the 6 P's, proper prior planning prevents poor performance. I wasn't scared that, oh my God, I was in trouble. I was glad that even though it took so long for me to have my first accident, But imagine if I didn't have insurance. Just think about it. Just think if I didn't have insurance and I bumped into somebody by accident, by a mistake. Just think about it for 2 seconds, guys. Things happen so fast. So if you're not properly planning, you will have poor performance. And that is no, you can't get insurance when you get into the accident. You must have prior insurance to cover you, so that when things like that happen, you are comfortable, you're safe, you're not feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't have the money, or you're feeling like overwhelmed with stuff. Yes, you're gonna be shocked. Yes, you may get a little backlash from all the bumps. Thank God it was at an intersection by the stop sign, so it was not a hard impact. But not everybody is running around with insurance. Not everybody is running around feeling like you're safe and comfortable. Many of you guys are driving without coverage. Yes, you all know it. I know it too. Many people don't think they're like, I can't afford insurance, so I'm not gonna get it. And then once the accident happened, which is like probably 1 out of 1,000 rides that you have, you have to be mindful that things can happen. Things can happen. And if you're in the gig economy, I just want to send out a little bit of, extra caution for you guys, that out of all your 100 deliveries that you do, you're going to have one where things is going to happen, like an accident. So make sure that you have a coverage to protect you and the driver, from any type of suing or anything. You're protected by having insurance for in a little bit, just to take cautions and be on the safe side. So with all of that being said, what I really wanted to come and show a point was, I talked about it. I never had to implement it on myself. I'll tell you all the 6 P's. But when you have to do it yourself, it's a little tough. I can tell you that, because you want to cry. Then you have everything else in your life that you have to do. Like I couldn't criticize, condemn, or complain to nobody else. So it was just me and God, guys. Just me and God going through it. I continued my process, what I was doing throughout the day. Nobody knew. Yesterday when I went on, by the way, if you all have not yet checked out, the modest fashion video that EFP and myself did yesterday, please go ahead and show some love to it. Give it a little like, leave a comment. I thought it was a great conversation to have, and we should have more of those. So just in case you missed it, is the modest fashion video, little podcast that was done yesterday. And go show support to sister EFP. She did an amazing job yesterday, and I was co-hosting with her, co-streaming with her. So I thought it was awesome idea. That was her idea, and she executed it well. Okay, so go show some love over there. Going back to what I was telling you guys, once you are in certain situation in life, and if you're not prepared, it reminds me of walking in holiness. We never know when we're going to leave. We never know when that day is going to come. So we have to always be prepared and ready. Our question today is, are you ready? If something happened to you in a twinkling of an eye, are you really ready? And I know the majority answer is no. None of us is ready. I wasn't ready yesterday. I had to apologize to a few, maybe repent for certain things before I leave. Like I had things still that was unsettled. And we all are growing, and we all are moving into different stages, different seasons of our life, and we're not ready. So if you say you're ready, you're lying. You're lying. You ain't ready to leave yet. Okay, you have a lot of unfinished business that we all gotta grow to or overcome before we are ready to say ta-da. Okay, so I ended up calling my husband, and he always stays so calm within the storm. I could tell you, let me tell you, my husband, he can execute. Maybe it's the military thing, and he's already, got it all up in here. Like, it was like, oh, no worries. He said, are you safe? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And just before I was about to, oh, I'm having a bad day. He was like, babe, it's okay. You come home safe. We're gonna just call everything. Was the lady safe? What information you have? Thank goodness for the dash cam, because of the dash cam, the lady didn't exchange information to me, but it was a great help to have the little video clip, that last little minute of the clash, because I had her license plate number. I ended up with her all the extra information, the model of the car and everything, without her having to tell it to me. I still had it, because she didn't exchange not even her name, nothing with me. She just came over to me, give me a hug, because I've been working on this growth process of not flying off the handle, staying in my seat, being still, and allowing God to deal with it, instead of me taking control and trying to fix it in my way. I'm learning to sit back, and it's the hardest thing to do, guys. I'm gonna be honest. It's hard to sit back when you're going through turmoils in life, when you're going through situations in life, to just sit down and just take it. And that's what I had to do. I had to sit down and I had to take it, and I love God to move, and he moved immediately. Let me tell you, I sat in the car for about 2 seconds longer than I should, because I was shocked of how fast the accident happened. And God, let me tell you, he activated so quick when I listened and stayed still. Because if I had gotten out and tried to control everything, and it was such a great check mark for me to see, oh my gosh, I've been repeating this struggle that I've been going through of handling this control, and loving God to take control. That's his power, not mine, and staying out of his way. And he showed me right on time, guys. It was I can't make this up. You would have to been there to see how quick God activates when we stay sitting in our seats and not fly off the handle and not get all bent out of shape. How would I know if I ran off the handle? She probably would have had a different spirit jump into her to come at me. He activated so quick, and I was like, oh my God, you said be still. And I'm like shaking, like, oh, what do I do? Do I go out of the car? Do I apologize? And then all of a sudden I remember my 5 sentences, and I said my 5 sentences. I immediately apologized. I am sorry. Please forgive me. It was my fault. And guys, let me tell you something. The I love you came in when she hugged me. I told her I love her. I was like, okay. And she went about her business. I don't know her name. I don't know nothing. When you stay in your seat and do not try to get out of your seat, God is going to show you immediately. And sometimes it's going to take a little longer than others. But guys, when he activated in front of me, I was baffled. I was like, oh, it's so easy to just let him do his job. He already know what's going to happen. He already know the end result. We don't know nothing. So sit down. Okay, sit down. And I sat down, and he worked through the process. So I came on today to let you all know the growth in being still, the growth in you allowing God to do his job instead of you taking control and messing it all up. Okay, I got a hug. You could call it God off the cuff, God off, or whatever you want to call it. I just knew that God's hands was all over it. Yes, I have to take my car to get it done. Yes, I got to go to the area. Yesterday, I didn't stop, guys, because God didn't stop. When he saved me, I had other things scheduled that needed to execute. I was not going to criticize, condemn, and I was not going to complain to nobody to try and spread any negativity and everybody, feeling like, it's okay. And no, life goes on. We can't stop because situations happen. We have to learn to push through because God already have the end result. Okay, we are the what do you call it? The stars in the movie. We are the star. And he already wrote the script with us winning in the end. Oh my gosh, I don't want to cry today. So I'm not going to continue on that little thing. I'm going to shift this around. But I just want you to know I cried enough yesterday. I went on. Nobody knew nothing. Me and Sister Elvira, we went on. We talked. Ta. I share with you guys why my assignment is to continue. I helped support her channel yesterday. I went about my business. I went to work. I came back. Nobody knew anything. Me and God and my daddy Jesus. You better believe it. And we kept moving. But I'm only sharing it to you today because we say a lot of things, but we are not doing it. We're just saying it. So I wanted to come back to let you know I had to do it, and it was hard. It's not easy making sure you have the 6 P's all down pack, making sure that you're proper prior planning ahead of time so that situations will just breeze by and it's not affecting you and your day. You can just push through forward. Not just letting you know that using the 5 sentence to life is definitely a plus because it helps make sure the other person can receive what you're saying and you remain humble. Once you accept that your responsibility, that it was my fault, it was me, automatically God already had a different heart for the person that I bumped into. Oh my gosh. I hope you all never experience the bumping into somebody and not being prepared to pay your dues. But I wish one day you will experience to sit down in your seat and allow God to take control instead of us doing his job. And he can respond immediately. Guys, immediately. He responded in front of me. Oh, made the woman get out of her car and hug me and told me she loved me. And what about her business? Who does that? Like, you can't tell. I can't make this thing up. I can't. And I'm going to get emotional now because life must move on. And we're built for this, guys. We're built for this. This is what we're built for. To sit down, be still, and allow God to do his job. Because we are not God. And we can't take control because we don't have the strength to do things. Okay, let me go through these notes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's just mind blowing when you allow God to do his will. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful and so quickly done. Stop fighting it, guys. Just allow him to do what he has to do. I am sorry. I'm emotional right now because I'm still a little shocked at what happened yesterday. Let me go in and greet you guys. Hi, Donald and Welsie. I'm seeing Tanya. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here to my channel, feel free to subscribe. I'm sorry, I don't cry every day, okay? All right, I pretty much motivate, inspire, and encourage, but today was just one of them days because even though we motivate, inspire, and encourage, that's the mission of this channel. Some days, I need y'all to motivate and encourage me. I need a little motivation, a little encouragement at times too. So today is one of them days where I'm going to stay humble, sit back, and I'm going to shed a little tear. But tomorrow we're going to come back on strong again, okay? So I'm just letting you all know how life is. Today I have my appointment. I'm going to go in to take the car in. I have other scenarios. I'm still doing what I have to do. Like I say, we got to keep pushing forward. That's what we're going to do. Thank you, Flemings, for coming in. Collab, but you got to figure out how both channels can chat. The same time, I was watching on your channel, but couldn't type in your chat. Hopefully, it's not technical complex. So yesterday what happened is when Sister EFP collabed with me, she mentioned to just use one chat. I went back in. I don't know, right now I don't have the issue, but I'm not on StreamYard, so I see you guys chatting, so I'm assuming it's working. But on her channel, when she went live, she preferred to use one chat. I could still see, but I was not, my chat was disabled just for the moment, just in case we were having some type of, what to call that now, um, internet situation. So she thought it was best to do so. That was my first time doing it, and that's why you couldn't comment on my channel. Not sure if you could comment now. Let me see. I was watching on your channel. Hopefully it's a 10. Yeah, so that's a great observation, Flemings. And yes, it was I think deactivated just because she was collabing both, but I don't think I want to do that on the next one. I prefer to have both because I couldn't respond the way that I wanted to. It will just block off my screen. So it's different once you put it, when you block off your chats. And I love the other one, they're seeing it on their side, like on their little right side. But for me, when I click comment, it just blocked my whole screen. So I was not able to interact, the way that I wanted to. So if I do collab again, I will definitely prefer to, do it when with both, everybody have their communications that they can just take turns to respond and stuff. So yeah, great. Hopefully this one, I'm seeing you all chatting, so I guess when I fixed it, it worked this time. But I'll check on my other channel on StreamYard to see if everything is activated and working well. Hi Courtney, welcome. She says, "Sis Paulette, I'm glad you're okay." Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you, guys. Thank you. God is so good. Yes, he is. Flemings, Paulette, is it possible she didn't have insurance? Why she didn't want to exchange info? Good you have your backup dash cam. Flemings, the first thing I thought about was that. But then once I pulled my video from my dash cam, sis, she's all up to date. License plate is up to date. Her registration was up to date. I'm like, she had insurance. It seemed like she was going somewhere and she was like rushed, but then yet she took that brief second to get out of her car and hug me and told me it was okay to be safe on the way back home and left. So I'm like, I'm still baffled. But I tell her, but let's exchange information. She says, okay. She said, my car is going to be okay. I can buff it around. But then when I look at the front of my car, I was like, oh, no wonder she felt a little certain way, because mine was destroyed. I guess she didn't want to get herself into anything. So when I reported it to my insurance, I sent them her VIN number and everything, because she told me one thing and she didn't get my information to say, oh, I'm going to go and call your insurance company and file a claim. So she don't got my information. I have hers due to my dash cam, thank God. That's why if you're in a gig work, it's going to be a little bit expensive, but the best recommendation I can give you out there is to get yourself a dash cam that's going to save you for these type of situation. I could have pulled up my dash cam, I could have run the video. It will give me straight up to the impact of the car when I hit into the car, everything. The only disadvantage that I say with the dash cam, I wish it was in a live charger, because the moment I turn off the car, that was the moment she turned off as well. Like at the end of the day, I feel like, things just happen a certain way, and, it is what it is. But yes, Flemings, I thought the same thing, but she wouldn't have insurance update and stuff if her tags were up to date, and they're up to date like December 2025. Like, they're not like next month or this. At the end of the day, that's what I wanted to say. Sometimes people wake up with a headache. I had a headache. Oh my God. Yesterday on that live, guys, I had a migraine all day. I went to bed with my migraine from the head. It just was throbbing, so I was the one probably impacted. I don't know if my pressure went up. I was shocked. I don't really know what it was, but whatever it was, guys, I had a bad headache or back yeah, and not so much the backlash, because it was, I can't believe the damage the front of my car got, because it was just a little tap. But the headache from the stress and the trauma of, man, I can't believe in a twinkling of an eye, I just looked back and boom, that's how quick it was, you know. So I did. Paulette from hitting, yep, to God be the glory, Flemings. Yeah, so in future, both chats can be enabled. Yes, yes, yes. Hi T Wood, welcome in, welcome. Does local dash cams give 12 seconds total time to see what happened? I have a 360 dash cam, and then I have a body cam, and then I have my neck cam 360. Like, I think in one of my video I mentioned to you, my husband lived for this. That's what he, you know, he have like three cameras on him from different angles if he's doing anything, just to be on the safe side. That's how he does it. And then I have the same. I just don't like to, you know, I like to have my cameras, but then not so obvious. But he don't care. He's like, you hit me, we're gonna get all the angles, you know. But my dash cam, it takes in minute increments. So I have short videos, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, and it lasts for like 12 hours, and then it loops. So because I didn't work no 12 hours, the most I'll do is probably between 4 to 6 hours in a day, and that's split with 3 and 3, or 2 depending on how I'm feeling that day. So the loops that I have is not seconds. I set it for 1 minute at a time, so it takes 1 minute. So from the moment I was driving and the car was in front of me, that was the moment that it just went, you know, is that was the moment that the message, that the little video cam stayed. Yes, indeed. Let's see. T Wood said, he said seconds in the front and 4 seconds at you, the driver. Yeah, mine's on, it has both ways from the 360. So yes, but it's not 4 seconds. It's not 4 seconds. T Wood, mine's on give me 1 minute loops. So I from the moment driving all the way to the hit, I have that on camera. And so that's how I got to his her plate number and everything, because of the scenario. But each dash cam or camera that you get, they're going to give different stuff. They're going to offer different things too. So, you know, all depending on how much you're willing to invest. If you guys are just coming in, hit the like button, please. Don't leave without hitting the like button. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, feel free. You're going to love it over here. Today we're talking about growth. You're going to, you know, I'm growing, guys. You know, I'm not staying stagnant. That's a good thing. And a lot of the things I'm talking about, we are implementing, okay? Because I had to implement those 6 P's and those 5 sentences yesterday, and I was like, oh my goodness. And still continue it today, because you got to keep moving forward. We can't stop. You can't stop, guys. You can't stop. Life is be life, and you got to figure it out. Okay, so hopefully that, you know, the Lord said, I think she learned that lesson. We're going to move her out of this season and put her in another one. She can handle it, right? Pray for me, okay? You pray for me. Okay. I don't blame him. These humans are insanely ignorant and crazy. Yeah. Yes, they are. You know, they are. Now, I think you're talking to someone, T-Woo. Greetings, everyone. I'm not sure. So the future about, yeah, Flemings, in the future, I will do both. I think that I'm not so familiar with the co-streaming, but I'm going to learn up on it a little bit more, because I want to know if when both stream, are they getting the same reach, or is different reach for everybody? You know, the one that is streaming it is getting the reach, and the one that is being the one, you know, that's how it is. So at the end of the day, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Like I mentioned, I was responding to your comment about your husband. Um, I don't blame him. Yes, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, T. I was like, what is T talking about? Who he fighting with in the comments? Yeah, my husband, he activates real quick. That's the military thing inside of him. He's like, you okay? Everything okay? Okay, this is the steps. This is what we're going to do. And he did not allow me to cave, like, feel sorry for myself. Like, oh, no, he was like, oh, we ain't doing that. Babe, we're covered. We're covered. You imagine in holiness, and you could walk around and you'd be like, I can leave today because I'm covered. I'm ready. Like, ain't that gonna be great? But I ain't ready yet. Okay, I gotta work on a few things. We gotta work on a few things. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys. I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share, even in the struggle, there's growth. And yesterday was a struggle. But in the struggle, you can see growth. And I think that because we all are growing and walking in holiness, and through our walk, there will be, circumstances. There are going to be situations where, you either come out with a nice punch or you're going to come out defeated. And I didn't want to be the one defeated. I did not want to be the one to be criticized and condemning and complaining to everybody, ruin everybody's day yesterday. I didn't want to do that. So since it's something that happened yesterday and I overcame it and continue pushing through, I just want to let you all know it's doable. You can do it too. You can do it too. That's why I'm sharing it. That's why I'm sharing. Okay. If you guys have any more questions or concern in regards to the 6 P's and the 5 sentences, feel free to do the rewatch, and that way you can get them. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time, because we are growing and we are implementing those 6 P's, those 5 sentences. They're life lessons, and we're gonna go through life, and we're gonna be able to use those things to help us grow and help us push through to the other side without having to criticize, condemn, and complain. We'll be doing more encouraging, inspiring. I like that. What is your native tongue? You can go for a Jamaican with your accent. Oh my gosh. I get that all the time. I think it's a mixture of Hawaiian and Caribbean. I am from the Caribbean. I'm from the Bay Island of Roatan, and that's off the coast of Honduras. It's right under British Belize. We used to be British Honduras back in the day, but they actually traded us with, they traded us. So now we were forced to speak Spanish as a second language. So Caribbean, they speak English on my island. And then if we wanted to go to work or anything, then they will, Evangelist Taj was on my island. The Bay Island of Roatan, he was on my island, definitely. So if we wanted to learn to, work or go to school and go to college and stuff, we had to go and learn the Spanish, because we were traded for a Spanish country. And I'm bilingual, and I'm semilingual in other languages. Like, I could understand about 3 to 4 languages. I can understand them. I'm not fluent in them, but I can understand what they're saying, like Brazilian, Italian. I can understand a little bit of French. We getting there. So I can understand it. I just not fluent in speaking it like I am fluent in speaking Spanish, because I went to school to learn Spanish. But I'm Caribbean English. I'm from the Bay Island of Roatan. So there we go. There we go. And yes, T Wood, there was 6, and he's planning on going. He said he's going back there probably next year, and Pastor will be coming to Hawaii as well. So you all know, pray for us that we get a little bit of that blessing on this side of the island, because we do not have a temple over here. We don't have anything nearby. So, just understanding one language. Yeah, T Wood, y'all need to get it together now. Everybody should know at least 2, maybe 3. trilingual, but it is what it is. It's coming. You'll get it. You'll get it. All right then, brother and sisters. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to head to my car appointment. I have a car appointment and I need to go and get all of the information that is needed and how long they're going to take care of this to make sure that I can get my car fixed so I can move back and do what I do, okay? All I know is hola. Hola, that's the good start. Hola, and you can say adios, adios, bye, you know? So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to speak my Spanish. I'm going to say, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Es un placer de que ustedes comparten conmigo un poco. And yo quería compartir con ustedes. And, you know, hasta luego. So hasta luego mean until next time. And I'm going to say deuces to you guys right now because I got to go, guys. I would love to stay and play a little bit and hoo-ha a little more. But you know what? Paulette is in another season because I just passed one yesterday. And let's see what the Lord have in store for me for today, okay? Adios, amigos. Muchas gracias. Besos. Bye.